Hello and a very good evening. You're tuned into Desert Storm, our sports special on all of the action from the Asia Cup 2022. And let's begin with all of the drama that played out on Virat Kohli's comments. After the India-Pakistan thriller, you'd think that was the big talking point. But no, it was the comments made by Virat Kohli at the post-match press conference. When asked about all of the brickbats, the criticism that's come his way, Virat Kohli said that none of these detractors chose to call him. They all spoke on TV, they had his number, but not one of them called him. He said only one person, and that was Mahendra Singh Dhoni, kept in touch with him after he stepped down as Test captain. Here's a report on exactly what Virat Kohli said. All right, let's decode what exactly Virat Kohli's message is all about. And when he says that Mahendra Singh Dhoni was the only one who actually reached out to me and spoke to me when I stepped down as Test captain. Joining us on this broadcast, as always, is former Indian captain Sunil Gavaskar. Always a pleasure to have you here with us, Sunny. I'd like to begin by talking and discussing about Virat Kohli, speaking about his low phase when he was, as he's, put it out about his mental health and all that he went through versus now, how, his 60-run knock against Pakistan is what everyone's talking about. What do you have to say about this?
Well, to be honest, I wouldn't know what his state of mind was at that stage when he took the call. So really hard for me to say anything on that because people take a call. I decided that I was going to quit the Test captaincy, Indian captaincy at the end of the World Championship of Cricket. So I'd taken that call earlier, of course, and I'd given a letter to the chairman of the selection committee before I left and told him, to please open it only after the tournament was over. So, I mean, at that stage, I knew that, I wanted to now play the remainder of my years without the cares of captaincy.
All right, I'd like to also introduce now Nikhil Nas, who's joining us live with all the latest updates, all the action from the Asia Cup. So, Nikhil, I'm going to hand it across to you. If you could take the next question to Sunny.
Well, Akshita, thanks a lot for that. Just to let our viewers know, I'm coming to you live from the training facility here. Behind me is the Sri Lankan team right now practicing ahead of what is going to be a crucial encounter for the Indian team, almost as good as do or die, because after having lost the game to Pakistan, it will be a must-win game for India against the opposition that is training at the moment. The Indian team had an optional training session and decided not to train today, but they will be geared up for that big game. Sunil Gavaskar still with us. Just taking on from what Virat Kohli said in the press conference, the one thing that he does talk about, that this break helped him realize that there is more to life than just cricket. And I've been observing Virat Kohli here, seems much more relaxed than previously, not as high strung. Do you think this is also a sign of maturity? It comes to you, as you mature in the cricketing circle, once you've achieved everything and the kind of perspective that he has right now?
You're certainly right. I think what you're in your 20s, you're probably a little bit different in your 30s. The basic part of you would be there, but your attitude, your thinking towards life, etc., will have maybe changed a little bit because you've seen life for those 10 years. You get into your 20s pretty much after having spent some pretty carefree teenage years. Then suddenly the thought that you have to now start earning a living, you're going to start making a career gets into you. So you get so totally focused on that sometimes you might not be the best person of yourself at that stage. And then I think when you're settled in your career, then you realize that there are things other than the career. But the career comes first, that kind of a situation. And so your attitude, thinking definitely will change a little bit, should change.
It is there, as Sunil Gavaskar points out. The other thing, Saiba, that he said in the press conference was talking about the team environment. We know that, captaincy was switched from Rohit Sharma, from Virat Kohli, it went to Rohit Sharma. Sometimes the relationship can be frosty, but he says the kind of atmosphere that Rohit Sharma has created is fantastic. That augurs well as far as the atmosphere or the camaraderie within the team members is concerned?
Well, you hear these, kind of things just about every time, and I think it's something which is expected. Like, for example, in England now, people are saying how relaxed they are and how they feel, under Brendan McCullum and Ben Stokes, how they're free to play. So, which is actually an indictment of the previous thing in a way. suggesting that the previous regime wasn't all that good. We have heard so similarly from Indian players how they feel just now in this current situation. But having said that, you tell me which player is honestly going to tell you how they feel when they are playing under somebody. Nobody. There's nobody, English player, Australian player, nobody's going to come out and say, oh, this is what I actually feel. I think this captain is rubbish. I think this coach is rubbish. Which current player is going to say that? No current player is going to say that. They're all going to sing praises of the current leadership. That's a fact of life, not just in cricket, but in any walk of life, that you're going to accept the current leadership because you know your job, your career depends on that. You're not going to start criticizing anybody. So when all these comments come, I just brush them aside, knowing that this is the current situation comment that is coming along.
Okay, Sunil Gavaskar, mincing no words. Anyway, then are you trying to tell me that there is a certain part in Virat Kohli even now that would have loved to have continued as captain?
No, that I can't say because that's his mindset. I can't get into his mindset. I'm not a psychologist. I'm just saying what I feel when I hear all these comments coming from different players about the current leadership. One of the most futile questions that I hear during an IPL, the question answer session that goes on between the commentators and the man of the match or whatever it is, asking about the current coach and about the current captain. How do you feel? Is that current player who has got the man of the match performance ever going to say that this captain is not good or that this coach is not good? No. So I mean, that's a futile question. Because nobody, like I said, mindful of his career, is going to be, trying to cut his own feet by saying something stupid about the current regime.
All right, Sani bhai, fair point. Maybe, as you say, Virat Kohli also may have sugarcoated because when you're talking about the current management, you want to say all the right things. But he certainly wasn't sugarcoating things when he spoke about certain ex-teammates not getting in touch with him on the phone, offering advice otherwise, but not in getting in touch with him over the phone.
Well, I don't know what the dressing room inside situation was with all these other players. I think ideally, because if he's named one person who got in touch, then maybe the other persons who didn't get in touch should have also been named, because then that would have been a little bit fair to everybody concerned, rather than thinking that everybody else didn't get in touch with him.
All right, Sani bhai, stay on with us. Plenty to talk to you about. The other big raging debate right now in Indian cricket is that catch by Arshdeep. Was it that moment that lost India the game? But more importantly, the kind of trolling that has come his way on social media, is that the right way to go about it? This is how Arshdeep's coach also spoke about how this young man tries really his best, gives his best, yet sometimes the fans are unforgiving. All right, Sani bhai, the trolls are out there. It happened earlier as well with Mohammad Shami, but I've been on the ground. The real fans that I've come across, they've always been supportive of Arshdeep. The other good thing is that his team has supported him. I saw a lot of Indian players speak to him. Virat Kohli came out openly in support, and that would be very essential for a young player, because this could be make or break. From here on, if he loses his confidence, the career can nosedive. But the good thing is the team is backing and rallying around him.
Well, first and foremost, I think if you're going to be on the public media, and I don't call it social media for a purpose because there's nothing social about it. That's why I always refer to it as the public media. If you are going to be on the public media, then you are going to have to face these situations. So the best thing would be to maybe not be on the public media. I actually don't even know why people take all these people who are commenting adversely seriously. I mean, who are they? If a former player or a fellow player actually says something nasty, then you take note. Something critical, then you take note, because that person has gone through, has the experience of having played the game. He knows something. Somebody who's never played the game, somebody who's hiding behind some anonymous identity. Why would you take them seriously? Yes, the online newspapers take them seriously because they want eyeballs for their thing. So every headline on the online sites is so and so slams, so and so grilled, so and so this. It's never headline which will, because they all want, with these kind of headlines, they want, their eyeballs. So my thinking is, and I'm not on any of these things. I'm only on Instagram, and so I don't even know why people take all these comments seriously. Just ignore them. Who are they? They are nobodies. They have not even probably picked up a bat in a sports shop, and they're still trying to tell you about cricket. No, ignore them.
Okay, golden words there from Sunil Gavaskar. He says, ignore them, and ignore the Indian team must, because the tournament right now, Asia Cup, is at a critical point, because India now, after having lost to Pakistan, have two very crucial games coming up in Sri Lanka and Afghanistan. You need to win both those games and only then qualify for the finals, because then what awaits the Indian fans would be India versus Pakistan part 3. Everyone would want that. I'm afraid that's all the time that we have on the show this evening. Thanks so much for tuning in to Desert Storm. We'll see you again tomorrow, same time. Meanwhile, news and updates continue on India Today.